All right, hey guys, thanks for coming and checking this out. What we're doing now is we want to talk to you about how to actually convert leads that we help you create. We say all along, and I teach people this all over North America, that you don't make money on leads, you make money actually on conversions, converting those leads, okay? So let's talk about how you do that. First off, there's two different types of leads, which I kind of talked about in the other video. There's a partial lead and there's a full lead. And what that really means is for a lot of these landing pages we're creating where people are going and entering their information, which is how it even becomes a lead, a lot of times we're going through a two-step process, two separate landing pages. And the first landing page they're brought to is really where it's a very basic point of information, something that they wouldn't mind giving up, something that commits them to the process of giving their information, something that's not too intrusive. Something like an email. If you're looking for home valuations, it would be an address. It's something very simple, very quick. When you collect that information and that information only, it's known as a partial lead, meaning you don't have everything, okay? It means that they probably have some bit of interest in what you're offering, but they just don't know you, trust you enough. Again, in that last video, you can go check out what I shot about the whole, what do you call them, salespeople at a furniture store or something like that, okay? A full lead is when they get to the second step. They fill out the address, they fill out an email, and they hit submit, and it goes to the next step and says, you're almost there. And then it asks for the rest of the information that they're requesting, okay? So it might be, again, if it's a home value or something, it's going to be property of the house. It's going to be what's their phone number, what's their, all the other stuff, email, name, everything else, okay? So that's the difference between a partial and a full. But what we really want to know is, how do you convert these people? So what if somebody just gives one bit of information and then moves on? Does that mean they're not interested? No, that doesn't mean that. It just means that they don't like you, trust you, whatever, enough yet. They don't have enough context with you to really move forward. One thing I want you to keep in mind too is a lot of times these partial leads are actually your best clients. We have a saying that we tell a lot of people, which is the tougher people are to find, the tougher people are to contact, the easier they are to sell. Because it means that everybody else is having difficulty getting in touch with them as well. And the more you work, the more you get rid of those layers, whatever you want to call it, the easier it's going to be to sell them, because you're not going to have a ton of people with the ability to chat with them, okay? So let's talk about how we do this. How do you convert a partial lead, okay? A partial lead, again, just one bit of information. There's many different ways we could take this, but again, if we just take the original example of like a home value or something like that, let's say somebody just went to step one and said, I want to know the value of my home. Okay, and I know some of you watching this are landscapers, some of you are attorneys, some of you are banks. We have a lot of different types of industries we work with, so just apply what I'm saying to this to your industry, okay? So someone just puts in an address. One way that you can take that partial lead and turn it into a full lead, get more information, is to use a company like Cole Realty Resource, okay? If you go to colerealtyresource.com/Jared James, that's a place where you can actually plug in somebody's address, and it will actually give you the rest of their information. It'll turn them into a full lead, which is really cool. You have all that additional information that they didn't even offer up, but now you have a way to reach out to them, okay? Let's say you're in a situation, though, where you don't have extra money to spend a few $100s a year on something like a Cole Realty Resource. Another thing you can do is you just go to your town hall. If you plug in the address, there's places like Vision Appraisal and other places where you can go in, plug an address, and it gives you the owner's information, okay? Just another way to reach out to them. Another thing you can do a lot of people aren't aware of, if you have an email or you have a phone number or you have something like that, you can also plug it in on Facebook at the top where it says search at the top. You can actually plug in their email, plug in their phone number, and if that is the email or the phone number that they have associated with their Facebook account, it'll actually pull them up that way. And now you can reach out to them through a place like Facebook, which is what I call playing in a different pond, meaning that there's not, or fishing in another pond, meaning that there's not a lot of other people trying to contact them in that manner. If you don't have any mutual friends and you go to send them a private message on Facebook, Facebook is going to charge you $1 or give you the option to charge you $1 to be able to actually guarantee that that message is delivered to their inbox, which is really cool. If you have mutual friends, it's almost always going to deliver there anyway. That's another way. What about another creative way to try to get in front of them if they only gave you a little bit of information? What if you just have, again, an email? A lot of our landing pages, page one just says email, okay? Let's say you just have an email. Do you know that if you use Apple products, you have an iPhone, you have an iPad, you have a Mac, you have something like that, at the bottom you have a little green thing called iMessage? If you plug that email for them into that iMessage and you send them a message and that is the email that they have associated with their Apple products, it will actually show up as a text message to them. Do you know that less than 15% of emails are answered and 100% of text messages are answered? This is another way that you're able to stay in front of them, okay? Or able to separate yourself from all the competition and, as I said before, fish in a different pond, okay? How about this? What if you do just have an address for somebody? Back to the home valuation example, right? You now have the opportunity to use the letters on our page here. We've got various letters you can use. You can now use different campaigns to follow up with them, like the payday campaign or a lot of these that we do. You now have the ability to send postcards to them to stay in touch because they may not be ready to sell for the next 3 to 9 months. They may not be able to purchase whatever it is you're doing for the next 3 to 9 months, but you have that time now to create ultimate context and stay in front of them on a regular basis because you know where they live, okay? And so you want to use these kinds of things to your advantage because I remember years ago when direct targeting, direct marketing, postcards, letters, these kinds of things were extremely effective, and then all of a sudden it wasn't effective because everybody was doing it and everything. But everybody's gone internet now, and so people have stopped. And so guess what's effective again? Direct targeted marketing, letters, postcards, these kinds of things. So you want to make sure you're using these, but also if you have an address, the coolest thing you can do of all is you can actually stop by their home, okay? You got to remember, guys, you are not cold touching these people. This isn't a cold contact. This isn't a cold call. These people requested something from you, okay? And so we have to stop avoiding this contact or being afraid that we're going to annoy them or being afraid of all these different things because you're in business to make money. And so they requested something. So there's nothing wrong if they requested a home valuation to be stopping by their home and having that valuation, that electronic appraisal, whatever it may be, showing up and saying, hey, by the way, here's the thing you asked for. And if you'd like me to give you a more accurate value, I could do a quick on-site 5-minute price consultation right now and just take a quick look throughout if that's okay with you. It's okay to do those kinds of things, guys. They requested this, okay? When you have potential people looking for what it is that you actually offer, you've got to take advantage of that. That's called leverage, okay? They wouldn't have filled this stuff out if there wasn't some bit of interest in it. Don't allow yourself to be fooled to think that just because somebody gave an address or gave an email or gave a phone number and nothing else, that they're not actually interested in whatever ad they clicked on. They are interested. They just don't know you, trust you, have context with you yet. Just like I said in the last video we talked about with like a furniture salesperson. When you walk into that furniture store and you're walking through, even though you're looking for furniture, somebody says, hey, can I help you? And what do you say? No, I'm just looking around. Yeah, I'm just looking around. Yeah, I drove specifically here. I took time out of my day. I'm looking at furniture. I'm not saying that I don't have interest in furniture. I'm saying I don't know you, so right now I just want to be alone. It's the same kind of reaction. So these are many different ways you can help to actually curate, or not curate, to actually put together and close on a partial lead, okay? Now, let's talk about a full lead. A full lead would be someone who gives a little bit more information. Name, email, phone, address, type of whatever it is that you need, whatever it happens to be. It's a much more full lead for you. You want to keep in mind when you get a full lead that you want to touch these people a minimum, and I want to make this as a note, a minimum of 7 times in the first 10 days, okay? Sounds crazy, but that's your most active time. You can touch them through a lot of different methods. You can touch them through email, phone, text message, video. We'll talk about that one in a second. There's many different ways to touch them, but you've got to take advantage of those first 10 days. That's when they're most prime. That's when they're most ready to respond to what it is that they wanted, okay? So, couple of quick points for you on a full lead. You don't want to give them all the information when you email them, call them, text them, whatever it happens to be. Because when you give them all the information and they have no context with you, they don't need you anymore. So you want to give them a little bit of the information, but then you want to make sure you hold something back and say, hey, where are you right now? I'd love to get this to you, okay? So if somebody, again, going back to our original example, is looking for the valuation of their home, they're possibly thinking of selling, you're going to call them back and you're going to give them something about the neighborhood, maybe a broad range that houses are worth $350 to $450, but there's a couple of quick things I need to know in order to give you a more accurate value. Where can I reach you right now so that I can complete this for you? There's always some kind of a call to action. There's always some kind of scarcity, like I need to get this to you right now. I need to, guys, think of it this way. When Macy's or some other company puts out a Sunday flyer, they don't have a flyer that says something like, hey, come on by anytime, plenty of supply, our prices will never change, so just let us know. That's not what it says. In every single situation, they have scarcity. They have, limited supply. You got to be here by midnight on Thursday. It creates scarcity, supply and demand. You need to be acting the same way when you're responding to these people. Okay, you'll get a better reaction. Next thing. Make sure that you want to have a follow-up system that touches them over a 12 to 24 month period, which you see down here. With that, again, a mixture of email, these kinds of things. When you're sending out those emails, okay, set up your auto emails systems and such in a program and do it on your phone. That way you can have your signature say something like sent from iPhone or sent from Droid or sent from whatever it happens to be, so that it looks like you at that moment sent it and you're ready and you're on point at that time. At the same time, when you're doing that, you also want to make sure that your email signature is not longer than the email itself, okay? And so what we see with a lot of salespeople is they have this long email signature that has a ton of information, all the awards they've won, all this, and at this moment, that means zero to the person you're trying to contact. You want a very short, concise email saying, hey, got your whatever, I need a couple more pieces of information so I can complete this for you. Where can I reach you right now? Look forward to hearing back from you. Short, concise, very easy, and then your name sent from iPhone. So it looks like you are there right now to take care of them. These are the little things that work. The other things that works is this thing right here, right? Use video. We use a company like BombBomb, just like it's spelled, like a bomb, B-O-M-B, bomb.com. If you go to /Jared James, you'll get a discount there. But that is a company that actually does video where you can do it right from your phone, right from your computer, shoot quick little concise videos and send them out. If you try to do it on your own phone, it's going to say file size too large, your video is going to show up sideways, there's all these other things that are going to happen. But here's what's so important about using video. First off, the reason why most of you don't use video is because you don't like how you look. And I'm going to break a little news to you. You ready? Everybody knows what you look like. They're aware. They see you. You're not walking around in a bubble. They know. Guys, 7% of communication is verbal. It's 93% of everything else. Why do you think I'm shooting a video right now? Because you retain more. I'm humanized when that happens. You personify it. And I'm going to tell you this, when you're using video with people, it is much more difficult for people or it's much more easy for people to reject a text message, an email, some kind of written language, than it is for them to reject a person. And when you're shooting video, you now humanize yourself. You become a person. You become a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, or whatever it happens to be, and it's much more difficult for them to reject that, okay? I said it before, make sure we have a follow-up system through some kind of a CRM, a contact relationship manager, a database that's following up for the next 12 to 24 months, because leads generally are a 3 to 9 month period before they're actually making a decision, and so you want to make sure you're staying in touch with that. But in the beginning, like I said, you're following up constantly, 7 times in the first 10 days. As you move forward, you want to, as it says right here, follow up every week at first after you get through those first 10 days. After you're following up for every week and you get to like about a month out, then start following up monthly, mixture email, again, text message if you have it, video, whatever it may be. Once you get to the first quarter, so maybe after 3 months, then start following up quarterly, okay? You could do this by adding people to your call list in your database. You can add them to your calendar online. You just need to have some kind of a process every single day where you spend a certain amount of time doing nothing but following up with potential leads, because the truth is there is absolutely nothing in your day that is worth the time it's going to take for you to actually follow up with these people. There's nothing that's a better investment. There's nothing that's going to make more money than you following up with these people. Now, if you're feeling like a real rock star and you're feeling baller, there are a couple of additional things you can do too. Some of our highest level clients in all industries, they're using things called an ISA. ISA stands for Internet Sales Associate or Inside Sales Associate. There's places like MyOutDesk, MyOutDesk.com, and places like that supply these. There's other virtual assistants out there too who do nothing but follow up on your leads and set appointments for you. I understand everybody's at different levels, so not everybody's going to be able to do this at first, but something for you to consider long term, okay? Another thing people are using, retargeting, AdRoll, ADROLL. This is retargeting. You ever been online or something and you look at a pair of shoes but you don't buy them, and the next day you go on like Yahoo and you see the shoes and you're like, oh my God, it must be God. I'm supposed to buy these shoes. It's not God, it's ad roll, okay? It's called retargeting. It's proper marketing and follow-up. You're touching them many different times. And so you can connect a company like AdRoll to your landing pages, to your website, to a lot of different places where when they visit there, even if they don't purchase whatever it is you're doing right now, as they go through to Fox News and CNN and all the, CBS Sports and all these different places online, guess who's showing up over and over again with an ad right next to them, retargeting them, call to action over and over and over again. That's how good sales, that's how good follow-up is done, okay, guys? So we'll be adding to this as we go along. There's always different ways to follow up. As times change, so do the follow-up methods. But I hope this helps you out a little bit to show you that it's more than just getting something and responding right away. That's important, right? You follow up within 5 minutes, your conversation ratio goes up by over 100 times. 68% of the time, the people who have a conversation with a potential lead first end up booking that business. So we know that's important. But things change, but these are some of the things that go beyond just what the typical person is doing. If you want to truly go from somebody who on average converts about 2% of their leads to an absolute rock star that converts about 5 to 10% of their leads, okay? We look forward to hearing your success story, guys. Have a great one.